You're listening to a download from The Independent in association with BT.
Hello and welcome to the second of 3 SustainIT podcasts brought to you by The Independent in association with BT. I'm Roger Trapp and I write about management issues for The Independent. And with me is my colleague Geoffrey Lean, Environment Editor of The Independent on Sunday. This time we're going to talk about flexible working, to what extent technology has led to a change in work patterns and how much this has benefited business and the economy. One of the things I think is interesting is the way that technology has advanced so quickly and the flexibility it provides. Alongside that is the fact that managers have to become much more flexible in what they expect from workers and to acknowledge that people perhaps might work at different times. And there are also concerns, of course, about people worrying about the fact that the technology means that you're always available and as a result the day is lengthened. I think that there's a lot of evidence to say that that's down to people being able to control it themselves, and they just need to learn to manage their time in the same way that they do anything else.
I think it depends what you do. If you're self-employed like me, you work all the hours God sends. But, I'm sure managements will always think people might be skiving by staying at home. I've been a home worker myself now for 16 years, and there's pros and cons.
Yeah, but the technology in that time has developed quite a lot.
So quite extraordinary. I remember when the fax machine came in, and I first used 1986 to send something to the States, and someone absolutely bewildered at the other end by this new piece of technology. And that's only, little more than 20 years ago, and already it's subtly obsolete. It does make it much easier to work from home in a way, particularly the internet, and to research from home makes it much more possible than it ever used to be. You don't have to rely on an old newspaper cuttings library. Though in some ways those were easier to work with, but it is much more possible to research things wherever you are thanks to these new technologies.
And what about with your area of expertise with the effect on the environment?
Well, obviously, I'm saving X commutes a week, and so everybody else who stays at home. Presumably also the savings on heatings and things, the more people live at home, because it takes less to heat a house, it takes to heat a huge working rate office.
Yes. Well, there is this statistic out that says that the average cost of an office is £7,000 per desk per year.
So why don't managements give their workers $3,500 a year each to work at home and save themselves $3,500, and then everybody's happy?
Yes. But the other aspect, I think, of the commute and working on is that around the big cities there are all these commuter towns that have grown up, which are then sort of emptied during the day. And commuting is quite a recent phenomenon that was sort of made possible by the railways, really. So maybe it's not impossible to think that we might go back to more people working from home.
It's quite interesting how the sort of decentralising philosophy is moving back into public life. I mean, the Conservatives, for example, I was quite surprised. It's really at the root of the being of the new Conservative Party. They're very strong on it. They're very keen on generating energy at home through solar panels and the like. But it fits into this sort of small-scale view they have of a much more decentralised society than the one we've got. And that's interesting. I hadn't expected that.
Well, that's it for this time. I'm Roger Trapp, and with me was Geoffrey Lean. Join us again next time when we should be talking about technology and the future.
That was a download from The Independent in association with BT.